And he puts that in the goal. That's going to be like 2-1 Cumberland beats Lindsey Wilson in the final here.
Welcome to today's Coach's Show. We got Coach Hicks here, wrestling coach. Coach, let's talk about last season real quick. You guys had your highest finish ever as a program.
Right.
5th in the national tournament. You had 5 All-Americans. Tell me what you felt after that tournament.
As a coach, right in the moment, you're always thinking like the points you missed. That's kind of me. I have to kind of get myself to think a little bit more positively right in that moment. But, the day after, I was pretty proud of what we had accomplished, highest finished ever. And we expected to be there. We expected to be in that top 5. I don't know if you noticed, Kyle, but we would have been top 4, which would have brought us home a trophy. But, the kid from Indiana Tech at 184 got a fall in the finals. So we were just a few points from getting a trophy for the first time ever. And, that day that the national tournament ended that night, that was pretty much all I could think about. But then the next day I was pretty proud of the guys and how they competed, and pretty happy with our season.
So 5 All-Americans from last year. You're returning 4 of those guys. Carter Cox at 125, Anthony Maya, Cole Smith, and Patrick DePiazza. Talk about those guys and what they brought to not only the program but how they've competed throughout their years.
Yeah, Carter at 125, he's our captain, so he's a big part of our program. I try to get our guys to be as independent as possible and to try to get our team to be as self-run as possible. I tell them all the time, this is your guys' team. I am the facilitator. I set the agenda. I say what we do and how we do it. But as far as execution on a day-to-day basis, on and off the mat, that's on you guys. You guys have to police yourselves. You have to hold each other accountable. You have to live by a standard, as a team. And I feel like Carter does a great job of getting the guys to do that. We're always on the same page. He's one of the few wrestlers I've ever had where I can sit down and just have long conversations about wrestling, discipline, everything that's involved in coaching, and him actually understand it. So then he can communicate it to the team when I'm not there and hold them accountable. So he's despite being an All-American and scoring those points, he's a major part of our program. Cass, he's a tremendous wrestler. He's also one of the guys that guys look up to on the team. He's very talented, very hard-working. I tell him all the time, like, you never let me down. Like, when I'm looking for him to perform and to get it done, he knows that I'm looking for him to get it done. He never disappoints. Now, there's times in there where you'll definitely have to push him, but when you need him, he never really disappoints. He always comes through for you. Cole, he's our co-captain. Like, he's like a machine, man. He's constantly in the wrestling room, constantly wrestling with anybody, helping anybody, young guys on the team. Anybody that wants to learn wrestling or get better, he's the guy they go to. If they want to just get an extra workout in, he's always down. He's always game for any type of wrestling, and he's just a workhorse, man. He's in there, sets a great example for the young guys, sets a great example for everybody. So we're very happy to get him over here last year. And then Pat, he's just our big man, our big teddy bear, man. He's Pat. He's a big funny guy. He's the amusement on the team. Very athletic, the most athletic heavyweight I ever coached. Can move well, scoring a lot of points for us. I feel like he's grown a lot since his first year here. He's from Ellsworth Community College, where in NAIA, most teams get those guys that are like junior college All-Americans. And, if you're a junior college All-American, you got a pretty good chance of being an NAIA All-American. You know, Pat actually was like second string on his junior college team. His teammate that was starting ahead of him was a national champ.
Okay.
So he was just the backup guy, you know. So he kind of came in here under the radar. Nobody really knew who he was, and just kind of like burst on the scene. I think Bryce Carr was our GA at the time. Worked a lot with him on his defense and his mat wrestling, and you know he was very coachable. Got better quickly, and was on the podium. So proud of him too, man. All those guys make amazing contributions to our program day in and day out. So
outside of those guys, you're returning a few players that have, wrestlers. Tyler Smith will get on to me for saying players.
Yeah.
You're returning a few wrestlers that have been to the national tournament, haven't quite gotten over that hump yet.
Right.
You know, John Oliveri.
Yeah.
Matthew Sells.
Right.
A couple other guys. Talk about some of those other guys and your returners this year.
Yeah, John, man, he's been there 3 times. He's been one match from being All-American 3 times. So that's pretty rare. You know, and John, you know, he's pretty local. He's from Smyrna down the road, you know, and he's just put a lot of work in. And from freshman year, you know, when he came in, we had our conference championship team that was the year we had those guys, and those guys were kind of brutal on the young guys. Like they were very physical. They were seniors. Like they didn't take it easy on those guys. So that class struggled a bit. He was one of the shining guys out of that class, and he's still here, wrestling, trying to be an All-American. So that's amazing, man. I hope he gets it done this year. I think he will. Keyshawn, he's been to the tournament 3 times. He's dropping down a weight class. He's going down to 133, which has always kind of been his natural weight class. He wasn't really cutting in a weight for 41, so he was a little small for that weight. You know, and that weight just got crazy good last year. So he didn't really have his best performance at the tournament. So right after, he kind of made the decision that he wanted to drop to 33 this next year and try to get it done. He's another one that's his work ethic is up there. It's unbelievable. Like I just left the room with him not too long ago, so he's in there every day getting extra work in. And then Matt, he's a guy we always kind of expected to do well at this level. He's a 2-time Tennessee State champ. We had to start him as a freshman, which probably was a little premature, and he took some lumps, and I think he's battle tested. He knows what it's about. He knows what to expect. And this is probably the best year for him to get on the podium in his senior year here.
Coach, last season, you know, we had a lot of question marks going into the year just because of COVID. So this year, there's a little more certainty. We kind of know what we're getting into with everything. Everything's kind of returned to normalcy. How has your preseason gone? With that being said, it should be more normal than it was last year, of course.
Definitely more normal. I think it's gone well for what we try to accomplish in the preseason. We're just kind of looking to bring the team together and instill like values. So this year we've been really trying to instill taking advantage of your opportunities and being grateful, and just constantly being grateful for where you're at in your life, what you're doing, being here, being in school, being in wrestling practice, being on the mat. You know, I think it's so easy for kids these days to not realize what they have in the moment when you have it. So we constantly preach, just be grateful, realize that there's a million people out there that will take your place in a heartbeat. As hard as this practice was, as hard as those classes are, there's plenty of people out there that will switch places with you. I would. You know, so I try to tell them that all the time and instill that in the preseason so that they see being here as an opportunity. They see practicing as the opportunity it is, the opportunity to get better, opportunity to improve your skills, and just see life as a great opportunity, just living as a great opportunity to do great things. So in this day and age with all the depression and all this stuff that these kids struggle with, and they do, we run into that a lot too. We kind of use our preseason to establish a mindset and develop a mindset more so than the physical condition. Like wrestling's a long season. You know, we kind of took the model of cutting the preseason a little short as far as like physical training and focusing on the mental part of the sport. And then we want to peak at the end. So it worked for us last year. We didn't really do a preseason last year, and we kind of peaked right at the right time. So that's what inspired me to take that approach for this year. So I think it's gone well so far for sure.
Good. So you sent me your projected starting lineup for this weekend yesterday.
Yeah.
Got a few freshmen on there. Talk about some of your newcomers who are coming in and expected to take on a role this year.
Man, 33, I don't know if he'll be at 33 or 25, but right now we got him at 33 by Hayden Lemons. He's an Oklahoma State champ. Great kid, great work ethic. Respecting great things out of him. He's already in the room, doing well in there, which is rare from a freshman because we have such a veteran team this year. So he's in there doing great things, and we're kind of expecting him to be a factor for our team this year and score some points. Eli Clemens, he's a Lebanon kid. He went to Lebanon High School. You know, he's very talented, a little raw, long, and you know, he's got great shots and a great work ethic, great mentality, blue-collar mentality. So I'll take that whenever I can get it. You know, the kids that want to work and want to be in there, he's the type of kid that'll come up and be like, you know, I got it, I'll take care of it. You know, he will. You know, he'll get the job done, do whatever you ask. So, and he's a hometown kid, so we'll take as many of those as we can get. So, you know, those are the two freshmen that we have slated to be in the lineup right now. We also have Joseph Fry. He didn't wrestle last year, but he's from East Tennessee. It's his second year. He's going to be doing a lot of wrestling for us at 149 this year. So, you know, he comes from a storied program at Science Hill, so we're hoping he can do some great things for us too.
Coach, let's talk about the conference. Always a tough battle, you know, throughout the year in dual mats, and then once you get to the conference tournament. Life won the national championship last year. Right now, Southeastern's ranked ahead of us.
Right.
In the preseason polls. Preseason number 8. Congratulations.
Right.
Got to throw that in there.
Yeah.
What do you know about the conference this year?
I mean, as usual, stacked. As stacked as it is right now with the rankings, I don't know how many guys are in the top 10, but as stacked as it looks, it's on the rankings is even more stacked than that. You know, some teams are under, like we in the conference, the coaches, we know that those other teams that aren't in the top 10 are good. You know, so you know it's even more stacked than it seems. It's probably the tough. It's been in a while this year. So, but you know, here at Cumberland, you know, we're up for the challenge. You know, we enjoy being in the Mid-South Conference, where we face the top competition in the NAIA. So we like that aspect. We don't run away from that. We're ready for all comers.
Absolutely. And you guys start your season this weekend against Chattanooga. It's an exciting dual match, you know, just not only to open up the year, but see where you kind of stack up with teams like that. Talk about that match a little bit before we close. Yeah,
I've always wanted to get I think we wrestled them my first year here, and I've always wanted to get them back on the schedule. So I'm happy we're able to wrestle them this year right out the gate. It's always exciting to go up against Division I competition. And this year I feel like we have a good team, so it's almost like the perfect time to wrestle a team like that. And you know, we've really been training our minds to just wrestle the guy. Don't wrestle, you know, you're not wrestling NCAA Division I, you're wrestling one guy, you know, that's standing in front of you. So if we go in there and we're confident and we're doing what we train to do, I feel like we'll represent well.
Coach, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck with your upcoming season.
Thank you. For sure.